Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. I forgot to add our timer. Boom. Sorry. Boom. There we go. All right. I'm all set up now. Hello. Welcome to another weekly stream. If you are new here, my name is Skye. I'm a fantasy author who paranormal romance. My name is SD Hegyes. Sorry, I just got myself scared by hearing myself talk. um, I forgot what I was even saying. Um, I have longer works under the name SD Hegyes. They're all fantasy, but I am also going to start publishing this year some short stories under the name Coda Hegyes, and those actually start publishing in less than 2 weeks. Hold on, let me check my calendar real quick. Um, just over 2 weeks. One, two, yeah, no, a little over a week and a half, roughly. So, yeah, that's exciting. In fact, actually, that brings me to what I'm going to be working on tonight. I'm going to be um, uploading final files for the first two short stories that are going to come out. The first one comes out June 23rd, which is a couple days after the summer solstice. And then the next one comes out July 7th. I had to look at my calendar. So, yeah, those are already done, ready to go. I just have to get them uploaded to KDP. And then what I should be working on is edits for story number 4. I need to do some self edits so I can get it sent out to beta readers. However, what I'm probably going to do instead is work on getting a description for book 3, maybe even tweaking the description for book 2, so I can get those ready for publication, and then I might switch over to edits. My goal this week was to get through work. I started work on Monday, so my only main goal was to get through work successfully. Successfully is debatable, but I got through it. It's fine. And then my other main goal that I was hoping to get to, and I did not get to, was editing story 4. Like, I was hoping to finish story 4 today, and that did not happen. Not today, tomorrow. And that is probably not going to happen. But we'll see, because there's still a chance. But I think that's going to be my goal for next week, actually, is to finish story 4. And we'll see how far behind that puts me. I don't know. Checking out the comments, JC is here. I was actually here super early, but I forgot to say something. Hi, Skye. Hi, JC. Welcome, welcome. I do have a pinned comment for anyone who wants to take part in tonight's poll. This is poll number 2 of 3. Last Saturday, I put up the first poll. What this is going to be doing is I have 8 projects I could work on for the 7-day book challenge to give me kind of a little bit of a break from sultry solstices. And so basically what I did is I went through all my story ideas that I have covers for, and I had 2 separate groups. I had 8 total, 2 groups of 4. With the first group, these were all stories that I had covers for, but I had no progress on them whatsoever. The second set, which is what the poll is for tonight, is the second 4 sets of covers that I do have some work done on the stories. I just need to finish them, kind of things. And then the third poll, which will go live next Saturday, it actually might go live a little earlier than that, just to give me some extra time for some extra votes. Because the fact that the following Monday after the poll goes live, the 7-day book challenge starts. And I think it would be better if I give 3 days, so it might go live on Friday instead of Saturday. I did not think this through very well when I started making these polls. But the point is that the third poll will take the winner of the first poll and the second poll and pit them against each other. So looking at the polls themselves, I'm going to look at the first one because it's now closed, and I am curious which one won that one. Also, I'm nosy. Posts. I've done a couple posts since then, so I think it's this one. Let's check this out. Yes. So actually, the winner of the poll was the story that's called Hunting the Big Bad Wolf. It's a new adult urban fantasy, possibly paranormal romance. I think it's going to be more urban fantasy. I haven't decided if there's going to be a romance or not. Basically, Little Red Riding Hood joins up with one of the 3 little pigs to go after the big bad wolf. That is the story premise. And now you know as much as I do about the story. That's one of the ones I have no clue what I'm going to do with. I saw the cover, it was on sale, and I was like, ooh, I have a story idea for that. And so I purchased the cover for like 25 bucks, 25, 50, something like that. It was cheap, and I was like, I'm going to write that someday. And now it looks like it's in the running to do so. So I haven't taken a look at the poll that went live today to see what's sitting at or where it's at, but yeah, if you're in the comments, let me know what you're going to be working on tonight, and we'll go ahead and get started with our first sprint fairly soon. As I mentioned, I'm probably going to be making sure everything's good to go for at least the first story. I might hold off on the second story until I can finish doing the description, like tweaking the description, so that I can make sure that it's good to go and I can get everything to go live at once. But yeah, that's where we stand. If you're new to my channel and haven't done a stream with me before, I do 30-minute sprints using this cat timer called Pomodoro Kitty. It is a her name is Nixie. I don't know where I was going with that sentence before I got distracted. But Nixie is going to be our timer. She meows when we're done. She meows when it's time to quit our break and get back to work. And during our sprints, I like to include writing prompts on the screen for anyone who wants to write but is not quite certain what they want to write about. So, yeah, that's a thing. Oh, my glasses are still dirty. I'm out of a glasses cleaner, though. JC says, video stuff is what I'm working on, the usual. That's fair. Renee is here. Hello. Do you purchase all your covers or make them or hire someone? I do purchase a lot of pre-mades. I have like 50 plus pre-mades, some of which may or may not ever get used because the kind of genre expectations for those covers have changed, or they'll get updated with some minor tweaks that I'll probably have to pay extra for, which is fine. I've gotten a couple custom covers. Puck's Choice is published with a custom cover. The short story series that's coming out, the individual short stories, I made the covers for them. I've made the covers for a couple other things. Looking at the poll that's currently live right now, these are all purchase covers. Nope, I take that back. The first cover, Paw Prints and Broomsticks, is a cover I purchased. Just One Bite is a cover I purchased. A Buck Short is one I made. And then Wolfless is one I won in a giveaway. So I took part in a giveaway that particular artist was doing, and that was the winning cover, and I ended up winning that giveaway. So that's cool. And then with the first poll, again, just looking at what's there, all of those covers were purchased except for the last one, which I made. Unlikely Mate is one I made. So that answers that question. But I prefer hiring someone to do covers unless it's for a short story. Short stories are never going to make me enough money that I can, unless I use a pre-made cover that was on sale for $50 or less, I can't see purchasing a cover for a short story because they're never going to make enough to cover that cost. So for the short stories, I will make the covers. However, I plan on putting the Sultry Solstices, all 7 stories, as an omnibus, and I'm going to be hiring a cover artist to do that. My only requirement with the cover artist when they do the omnibus is I'm going to let them know it's going to be the first in a series of 7 omnibuses. And then the other thing I want is I would like them to use the main color that I use on the cover as part of the cover. I will give them the hex code for that and say, hey, you have free reign to do what you want. This is what the book's about. I don't care what you give me. I'm just looking for this color to be used as the main color in this cover. And that's it. I will let them have free reign of everything. Just because I have no idea what I'm looking for other than I need all 7 to be cohesive in the long run. And the 7 series are all so different that I don't have an idea of how to tie them together without doing something that's more minimum and doesn't have a lot of stuff on it. So I could technically probably make the covers for those, but I don't want to, is what it comes down to. Because I don't like making paperback covers. I did discover that very quickly. So, all right, that being said, for roughly 10-ish minutes into the stream, because I started a little bit late, let's go ahead and get started with our first sprint. So, For our first prompt, for anyone who wants to write, again, you do not have to if you don't want to, says, in what universe do you think I could ever accept you again? That is our prompt for anyone who wants to use it. And we are going to start this first sprint in, hold on, let me click on the right tabs. 3, 2, 1, let's go. All right, that is time. Let us know how you did what you did in the comments. Because I am curious and nosy and want to know how you did. I I got Presumed Dead completely finished. It is uploaded. It is scheduled for pre-order. Everything is set to go. It will go live June 23rd. It's good. I tweaked the description for Imagined Overdue, which is the second story. It has also been uploaded. It is live. It is ready for pre-order. It comes out July 7th. And the next thing I'll be doing on the next sprint is I'll be working on the description for story number 3. I've almost finished it. I just need, there's the last 2 paragraphs that I write in the description for all 7 stories that kind of like describe what the story is. I need to finish those 2 things, and then that will be done. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. That's what I've been working on. And how did everyone else do? Let's check out the comments and see. During that sprint, Cedric Raven joined us. Hello. I've been working on planning draft 3 of my YA sci-fi novel. Awesome. Congrats. JC said hi to everyone. And that's all I can see so far, but I imagine other people will have things to say as they come in. What is that message from? Ugh. I don't know what that means. Hold on. Sorry, I gotta answer this real quick. All right. So that is. I think what I'm going to spend tonight doing is I want to go ahead and knock out the description for 3, which is almost done. I'm waiting on beta feedback from one more beta reader, and then I'll be able to format that for uploading and get that scheduled. All of the short stories for this series are scheduled. It's just a matter of making sure everything gets edited and uploaded on time, which I'm doing good with that so far because now that I've got the first 2 done, my goal is to finish the 3rd one before the end of next week, which will hopefully happen. We'll see. And then, where was I going from there? I need to update the descriptions on all of them because I basically just put this is blah 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 and blah 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 story. Stay tuned, kind of thing, or to be announced, kind of thing. So I've got to update all of the descriptions, which is what I'm probably going to be working on tonight. I may switch over to edits if I feel like it, but at the moment I'm content with just doing this. Actually, I probably will switch over to edits because I want to have the final story done before I do the description. This will be the only series where I do this with. I do not like the fact that I am not ready to publish all the stories before I'm writing all these descriptions. My whole goal was to have all the stories done. Like I can hit publish today before I start scheduling pre-orders. And now, like I wanted this one to come out starting on the solstice because the whole series revolves around the solstice. So I am pushing myself to get this done. But very, very soon, it is probably going to make me start panicking because I'm going to be so close to deadlines with some stuff that I'm just like, ah. And I have no one to blame but myself because I could have been like, I will wait and I'll publish this next year. And I didn't. And part of me thinks I should have, but at the same time, I'm like, I was realistically looking at my guidelines and I'm like, yeah, sure, I can actually stay on track and get this done. And I can, but like I'm leaving myself very little room for error, very little room for anything to go wrong. So that's what's causing me to freak out is that I've got all these deadlines now that I have to meet, and I'm pushing myself to make sure I make it. And I don't like that. I like everything to be ready and done, and me just having to do the metadata back end portion of the KDP stuff before I press upload. There's a new person in the chat. Hello, is it Elena? Let me know if I'm pronouncing that wrong. I probably am. But welcome. Nice to see you here. Nice for you to join us. We are going to be starting another sprint soon. I was just explaining the fact that the series I'm working on that's up for pre-order now, I need to update all of my descriptions. I need to update all my descriptions in the chat, in the YouTube descriptions. But I was just explaining that I am working on a short story series that starts to come out soon. I do not have any links because I haven't updated anything. Note to self, do that. Because I haven't done that yet. Doesn't have my publishing website. Doesn't have the link to the series that's coming out. I got none of that stuff. I don't know what I'm doing. You think I'm a newbie? I swear I know what I'm doing sometimes. Update YouTube descriptions. Okay. But yeah, I am working on that tonight. I'm working on the back end stuff, and I wish all the stories were done to make the back end stuff go faster, but it's not. Anyways, let's go ahead and start another sprint. We are going to 30 minutes on the clock. Nixie's going to keep time for us. If you are just joining us, I like to put up writing prompts. You do not have to use the writing prompt if you do not want to, but it's there if you want to write but don't know what you want to write about. Maybe it'll inspire you. This is our second prompt for our second sprint, and it says, sudden splash attack from the ether. This is actually a quote from my sisters today. One of my sisters went swimming, and she was using glitter sunscreen, and so she and my other sister were making comments back and forth about the glitter sunscreen. Let me just read you this exchange, because it's actually kind of hilarious, and it made us all giggle. So for those who don't know, we talk in... My little laughing emoji wasn't sent. Really phone. Okay, anyways. We talk in, like, movie quotes. That's a lot of our lives. And she sent us a picture, and she said, "This is the skin of a swimmer, Bella." And she let us know that was how she let us know that she got glitter sunscreen. And we were laughing about that. And she invited one of my other sister, to go swim. And she said, "We all float down here," with the picture of the clown from It. And my other sister responded, "No, I play D&D." And that was where this quote comes from, because she wrote, the first one wrote, "Sudden splash attack from the ether. Everybody roll a dex check. Fails, take 1d3 splash damage and are wet for the next hour." And the one playing D&D sent a picture of the dice roll that she had, which was a 5. And she said, "I'm screwed." And the first one wrote back, "Soggy bottom sister." So that was a great exchange to have today, and the absolute reason that I am using that as a quote today for the prompt. Elena is reading the Time Hop Coffee Shop by Phaedra Patrick. Oh, that's nice. I'll have to look that up because I don't know that title. Time Hop Coffee Shop. Time Hop. Wow, I can't talk. All right, let's go ahead and start the sprint since I've got the prompt up. Our timer is getting ready to go. We're going to start in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. All right, that's time, everyone. Let me know how you did, what you did in the comments. I finished doing the description for book 3. I still need to upload it, but I want to wait to upload it until after I format book 3 and get it ready to upload as well, so I can just do both of those at the same time, which means now I have moved on to other things. Currently, what I'm doing is I'm fixing some things in my Notion because there was some things I noticed that were not quite right when I was changing some stuff around. So I'm working on that, and then I will. I don't know. I don't know what I'll do once I finish that. I think that's going to take me at least one more sprint to finish all that. Maybe we'll see. I'm on the last section now, but there's like a lot of information here that I need to. A lot of different pages that I need to tweak some information. So we shall see. But how did everyone else do? JC said, missed the last chat break because I wanted to eat. Went to eat. How did you do in the first sprint, Skye? Oh, I am so sorry, JC. I didn't even see that until now. Let me know if you're here so I don't have to repeat it again. I want to make sure you hear me and how I did. So let me know that you're here. But the other thing I did is I went to the poll of the first poll that I completed, and I took a screenshot of that just in case anyone does another vote accidentally or whatever, even though the poll's closed. YouTube won't let me like close the polls without like deleting it, and I don't really want to do that. So I took a screenshot and I saved that to my Notion as well, so I can use that when the time comes for the third poll, since the third poll is supposed to be pitting the winners against each other. So that's another thing I did. But yeah, I will be finishing up my Notion stuff on the next sprint, and after that, maybe I will actually get some done. Editing. I really don't want to edit. Oh, JC's here. Hello! So what I did on the first sprint is I got book number 1 and book number 2 completely uploaded to KDP. I updated the description of book number 2, and I had started the description of book number 3, which I finished on this sprint. And I debated uploading book 3 as well, except for there's one more beta reader I'm waiting on, and I need to format book 3. And I didn't want to update the description when I could just do the description and the book at the same time. And then another decision I came to is that I don't want to work on the descriptions of the books until the books are completely ready for uploading to KDP. So that is what I did on both the first and second sprint, and now I'm just playing with Notion basically and doing some things in Notion. And I'm avoiding editing book 4, which is what I should be doing. So I'm doing the final edit on my side for book 4 before I send it off to beta readers. Excuse me. And then once beta readers have gotten through it, I will finalize it and write its description and get it uploaded too. My goal is to get book 3 uploaded by the end of next week, hopefully, maybe next Saturday. So that will be the first 3 already done, and by then, hopefully, my beta readers will have book 4 in hand. Otherwise, I will definitely be working on book 4 for next week's sprint, because I want to make sure it's with beta readers before the 7-day book challenge. I really wanted it with beta readers Monday, and that is not happening. Not unless I do like 10,000 words between today and tomorrow, which is possible. Don't get me wrong. Like, I could. I was supposed to be working on that all day today, and I didn't. I had breakfast this morning, and I don't know if it was breakfast, if it was dinner last night, or what it was, but all of a sudden I just felt sick, and I went back to bed for like 4 hours this morning. So I had every intention of editing book 4 today, and I didn't because I didn't feel good, and now I am paying the price because I got to get it out to beta readers really soon to meet my deadlines. I also said during the last break that this will be like the only series I do this with. If I do pre-orders in the future, I want to make sure the entire series is ready for pre-order. Like it's ready, it's done, it's formatted, it's been beta read, everything is good to go before I even try to set up pre-orders for them. So that all I have to do is the back end stuff on KDP because I don't like the stress this is causing me. So, but thank you, JC. Yes, way to go. That's awesome. Yay. Um, so I'm still getting stuff done. I've gotten less stuff done this week, but I was kind of halfway prepared for that because of the fact that I started a new job. And I wasn't pushing myself too hard because of that. But at the same time, I really have no excuse because I could have gotten stuff done. And I just scrolled TikTok instead because I just didn't feel like working on it. So completely on me. No one to blame but myself. And now I've put myself behind by like a couple of days at least. So there's that. But all right, Nixie is blinking at us. We're going to do another sprint. This will be our third sprint, I believe. Yes, sprint number 3. And then hopefully I will finish up what I'm doing in Notion and I will stop making excuses and I'll actually get to work on some edits so I don't have to write 10K tomorrow in order to meet deadlines. I would, like I said, I would really like to get it done tomorrow. I just don't know if that's going to happen. So we're going to try though. So let's do this. Here is sprint number, the prompt for sprint number 3. If you want to use it, you can. You don't have to. And it says, I touched it. It was slimy and gross, and I feel disgusting now. Thanks for that. So that is our prompt. If you want to use it, you do not have to, though. And we are going to start sprinting in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. That is time, everyone. Let us know how you did what you did in the comments. I managed to finish the project I was working on with the Notion. There's still a couple things I need to do that I just realized I didn't do so that it doesn't make those errors again. I need to tweak some things. That's okay. I'll do that on the next spread. I also wrote 465 words because I'm editing the fourth short story. Let's open my tracker up because I got 30 minutes before it resets everything. According to my tracker, I needed to write 5,208 words today and I'll finish on time because my deadline is tomorrow. I'm not going to get 5,000 words in the next 30 minutes before it resets, but once it resets, we'll see how many words I'm actually supposed to write tomorrow to wrap this up. We shall see, we shall see. What did everyone else do in the chat? Sorry, I'm scrolling up to where this is supposed to be. Okay, there we go. Renee said, sorry I disappeared, had to get the kids in bed. It's late and they are stalling. And changed my pajamas, but here we are. Here we are now. A question for Renee, if you are here. Did you hear what I said about the covers before you had to disappear? It's fine if you didn't. I can repeat myself. I was just curious if you heard it or if that was after you disappeared because I had answered your question, but I don't know if you heard it. My eyeball. Yes. Okay. That's awesome. I'm glad. Yeah. I have a lot of pre-made covers. A lot of what happened was that I would see a cover that I wanted. I would get an idea for it. I was like, ooh, let me buy it now and I'll write this story eventually. And yeah, now I have 50 plus covers that I have to write stories for still. Some of them are series, some of them are standalones, but yeah, it's fun. I had headphones on and I'm listening to it. Okay, nice. One of the next things I have to decide. I finally figured out what I'm going to do as far as like the epilogue of the final story. So this is a series of 7 stories, and each character, each of the 7 sisters, has had an epilogue to kind of introduce them at the end of the previous book before their own book. And everyone except for Tara, who was the one that started the series. So what I decided to do with the 7th story in the series is I've decided to make the epilogue from her perspective so that every sister has an epilogue and a story. It's just that Tara's epilogue will be at the end of the series to kind of wrap the series up. Because what I wanted to do with the Serenity universe, with these interconnected series, I wanted to make sure that anyone could jump into any of the series or they could jump around to different series. Yes, there'd be cameos from other characters in different series and different books, but I wanted so that each series could be its own standalone because, like, some of them are going to be spicier than others. Some of them are going to be very super sweet. Some of them are going to be spicy. Some are going to be in between. And I wanted to make sure those who didn't want to read certain kinds of stories could read the others in the same universe if they wanted to and skip those that didn't. I will say that if a series starts off sweet, the whole series will be sweet. So in the case of Sultry Solstices, there are no spicy scenes. In fact, there is like one kiss in most of the stories between the main characters. There's a couple stories that are exceptions, but there's no spicy times at all in any of that series. But there is another series in the same universe that is very spicy in the first one, and the rest of that series will have spicy scenes. So that's part of the reason why I wanted to do that. So each series will be a complete standalone, with the epilogues in the final book being from the perspective of whoever's in the first one. So that's how I'm going to do that. And then the other thing I have to decide is, after I finish wrapping up my end of all 7 stories, because right now I'm editing book 4, and then I'll be editing book 5, 6, 7. After I finish 7, do I want to carry on with the next series in the universe, or do I want to write something else and take a break for a little bit? So that's the other thing I have to decide. The first one of the next series is actually already written, because like the first one in this series, it was part of an anthology. However, the requirements for the 2 anthologies were different. For the anthology, this first one was in, I'm sorry if you can hear Jester barking outside. But the one that was in the one that's in this series that was in an anthology, the requirement was 8,000 words, whereas the requirement for the other story in a different anthology was 14,000 words. And it's right at that 14,000 word mark roughly. And I don't want the stories in these series to be any more than 15,000. So I have to figure out what I want to do about that, because I wanted to add chapters from the love interest point of view. And I don't know if I can and as well as an epilogue from the next character's point of view. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that with the way the story is. So I've got to take a look at that and figure that out before I even work on the next story in the series. So lots of work in the background for that one. But I've got to decide if I'm going to start on it right after I finish this series, or if I'm going to take a bit of a break before I do that. But anyways, Nixie is blinking at us. She's ready to do this 4th and final sprint of the night. So we're going to do this. Let me get my timer up and ready. Not timer, prompt. Again, if you do not want to write it, you do not have to. This one says, "Ew, she's petting me with sunshine hands." Kind of like one of my other prompts this evening. This one is something I actually said today. We have a hand sanitizer that's labeled as the scent is sunshine and something else. I can't remember what it was. I think it was sunshine and honeydew or something like that. But like, my daughter used it, and then she was trying to freak me out. So she came up to me and she was like, "Good, Mom." And I'm like, "Ugh, she's petting me with sunshine hands." So that is where that prompt came from. And we're going to start this sprint in. Oh, wait, hold on. Renee asks, "Have you gotten the June monthly challenge on the forest app? This month's tree is so pretty." I did actually. I did get it. I think I got it yesterday. Like I finished doing all the challenges to get it yesterday or the day before. I can't remember which. So yeah, I did get it. And we still have like half the month to go to get it. So, woo! All right, let's go ahead and do the sprint starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. All right, everyone, that was time. I'm going to go ahead and close our timer out because we're done with that. Let us know what you did, how you did in the comments. I wrote words, however, everything reset at midnight, so I don't know how many words because, yeah. I also said goodnight to everyone else in the house because they're all going to bed, and I don't know if I'm headed that way or if I'm going to try to get some more writing done. I feel like I should try to get some more writing done because my word count tracker says I need to write 9,571 words today in order to reach my goal. But I also have to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, which is only 6 hours from now. So I might go to bed. I don't know. I haven't decided. Let's see how y'all did in the comments. Oh, there's no comments that came through yet. That is fine. But yeah, I have managed to get some work done on the story. We're slowly moving ahead, getting words in. But it's not going as fast as I would like, which is fine. I also got distracted and was doing other things this last sprint, so I'm not surprised I didn't get as many words as I would like. JC said I messaged you. Okay, I'll check it out after the stream. I feel like there was something else I was going to say. I cannot remember for the life of me what it was. I am brain dead now. I think it's time to wrap this up. I can't think anymore. But it's been a productive stream. Renee says, I've been outlining all afternoon, started drafting the sprint, so 178 words. Awesome. Congratulations, Renee. Renee is also working on an interconnected series. So that's fun. Hi, Jester. So, you didn't want to go to bed with Dad? You're going to wait for me? That's cool. And JC says, I'm just uploading things. Hey, you're getting stuff done. You're being productive. That's all that matters. Thanks, JC. I didn't get as much done as I wanted to, but I got a lot of stuff done. So I think everyone did great tonight. And everyone's saying that to each other. But that being said, I've lost all track of my mind. I don't know what's going on anymore. So it's definitely time to wrap this up and get off here so I don't make a bigger fool of myself than I am. But excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Yeah. So thank you all for joining me tonight. It has been lovely. I got some work done. I got 2 stories completely uploaded. They are ready for publication June 23rd for the first one. It's Presumed Dead. It's the first in a 7 short story series. Each book is going to come out 2 weeks following the previous one. So the first one comes out June 23rd, a couple days after the solstice. Then the next one comes out July 7th. And then book 3 comes out July 21st, I want to say? That doesn't sound right. Oh, it is July 21st. So, yeah. And those will be under the name Coda Hegyes. They are available for pre-order. That's what I needed to do. I needed to update my YouTube descriptions. Oops. I'll do that another time. I'm not doing that tonight. I'm done. I am done for the night. So, thank you all for joining me. For those who don't know, my name is Skye. I'm a fantasy author who typically writes paranormal romance under SD Hegyes. I will be producing short stories of all fantasy genres, again, mainly paranormal romance, under the name Coda Hegyes. So eventually you'll be able to find links to everything below. You can find all the SD Hegyes stuff already, but you cannot find Coda Hegyes stuff yet. So it's coming. I will update everything. But thank you all for joining me tonight, and I'm going to go ahead and end this now, and I will see you all next week. So if you haven't had a chance to yet and you would like to, there is a poll in the chat. It's pinned, where you can vote on the project I'm going to be working on for the 7-Day Book Challenge. This is poll number 2 of 3. The third one will take the finalists of the first 2 and pit them against each other, and that'll be the project I work on for the 7-Day Book Challenge, which is starting June 22nd and going until June 28th. That's what I was going to talk about. And my goal is to write an entire story during that week. I'm going to be taking a little bit of break from the Sultry Solstice series to do that. And yeah, I don't have those streams. I usually stream daily for those. I do not have those streams scheduled yet because I don't know what my schedule is going to look like at work yet. And I'm going to be doing the streams revolving around that. Hopefully, they do not have me working on the weekend because we have a 12-hour marathon coming up that weekend. So we'll see. I might have to change some stuff around. So more to come on that later. But in the meantime, I will see you all later next week. Bye, everyone.